Then came the move to India, and I think she thought twice perhaps about this encouragement of snakes. For a kid, it was a mind-boggling experience. I remember arriving at the Juhu airport. That was the only airport in those days. It was a tiny airport, and there were Quonset huts for the customs and the immigration and stuff like that. It was all a bit crazy because this family arrived from America with trunks and all sorts of stuff, and I think the customs and immigration didn't know what was happening, and they sort of passed us through pretty quick because they couldn't figure us out. But my first impressions of India, as you can imagine, the smells, the sounds, and the heat. Man, that tin Quonset hut was really overwhelming. We were sweating, getting our bags and getting into the car. And my stepfather had actually had the car that we had in the United States shipped over. So we had a 1950 Ford, and a maroon-colored Ford. It was left-hand drive, which was another bit of a mess because in India, left-hand drive had to have a sticker on the back of the car. And it was a bit difficult maneuvering traffic, but he was cool. He was good at it. He's a really good driver. The first place we went to live was out in Colaba, actually. It was a hotel. And but it wasn't really like a hotel. It was like an apartment block, and it was right next to the sea, overlooking the rocks. So in a way, I mean, I was in a city, but I had access to a nice bunch of tide pools and stuff like that. But very soon we moved to our real house, which was on Juhu Beach. And anyone seeing Juhu now, it's just crowded. There's high rises and everything. You have to just imagine it in those days. Juhu was absolutely wide open. There were fishermen communities there, and that's just about it. There were a few bungalows and a few movie stars. Devanand, I remember, and Raj Kapoor. They had houses in Ruya Park, which was right next to where we were, in Silver Beach. But otherwise, it was an empty beach, and you could walk that beach. It was clean, and I made friends with some of the fisher kids, and I was always into fishing from the time I was very small, so I had a lot of fun with them. And as long as I didn't have to go to school, which I was very happy with, I was just on the beach. And, I got so tanned that I was almost black with my white hair, and I must have looked like a real sight to the local kids. And I learned first Marathi and Hindi swear words, which is how you start learning a language. And that was a lot of fun, though, being with those kids and learning how they worked. We'd help their fathers pull in the big shore seines, the big nets, and they'd pay us off in a couple of small mackerel or something, which I'd take home to eat. And what a life. Until they sent me to school.